Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired chef from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video. In this one I'll be making these fantastic chocolate chip and oatmeal cookies. They're easy to make and are absolutely delicious. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on my website. I'll leave links at the end and under the video, or just click on the eye icon top right of the screen. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a quick shout out to this week's Patreon and PayPal donators, and they are Gerald Wogan, Frank Pell, Linda Thompson, Gary Ford, and finally Judy and Graham Thomas. And once again, thank you for your continued support, everyone. It really does help keep the channel going. Okay, for this recipe you'll need a couple of baking trays lined with parchment paper. And this is the size of the trays I'm using. A good way of keeping the paper flat is to rub a little butter here and there. Time to preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius, that's 375 Fahrenheit, on gas mark 5. I'm setting mine to 170 because my oven's fan assisted and it runs about 20 degrees hotter than indicated on the dial. Right, I'll start the recipe by adding the sugars and the butter to a bowl and cream those together until you have a nice smooth paste. And this job is much easier if your butter is at room temperature. You can of course use a stand mixer to do this part. If you are using a stand mixer, use the paddle attachment and keep the speed slow. You won't be able to use an electric hand mixer for this, as the finished cookie dough will be way too thick for a handheld machine. Don't forget you can view the ingredients list and full written method on the recipe page on the website. Now add the vanilla extract and the egg, and once again make sure your egg is at room temperature or it'll make your butter go hard. Now mix those together until you have a nice smooth batter. Next, add all of the dry ingredients, starting with the flour. Try to use these rolled oats if you can. They give the finished cookie a great texture, but if you can only get instant oats, that's okay too. When it comes to adding the baking powder, push it through a sieve to avoid any of those little hard lumps getting into the mix. For the chocolate chips, I'm using half white and half dark chocolate, but you can use all milk, all white or all dark. It's entirely up to you. Now give that a quick fold, then add 1 tablespoon of honey. I'm guessing mine as it's easier to squeeze it straight from this bottle. The honey adds a little flavour but also gives the cookie a slightly sticky texture, but you don't need much. Right, I'll fold that lot together until everything is combined into a sticky mass of cookie dough. Okay, you can either guess the size of each cookie or you can do it the correct way by weighing and dividing the dough equally. Now if your measurements were correct at the start, your dough should weigh around 750 grams, that's 26.5 ounces. Okay, I'll divide that weight by 12 cookies and that gives me a weight of 62 grams each. Now in imperial weight, that's 2.2 ounces. So I hope you can see it's much simpler to work in grams on your digital scales. I'm not preaching, I'm just saying. Once you get it weighed off, roll it into a ball in the palm of your hands and press it down slightly into a puck shape, about 13mm, that's half an inch thick. Place 6 cookies on each tray equally spaced apart. I like to use this scoop with this sticky dough. They look a bit small at the moment, but once they're cooked, they'll have doubled in size. Once they're on the trays, place them into the preheated oven and set your timer for 13 minutes. Once the time's up, place the trays on wire racks for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, the cookies will have hardened enough to get them off the tray and the paper, but leaving them on the wire rack so the air can circulate around them, and leave them to completely cool. Now you can call these done if you want, or you can continue along with me and turn a good cookie into a great cookie by decorating them. Right, what I have here is a 100-gram bar of cheap white chocolate, and I'm going to melt it. But to make sure it sets hard again on the cookie, I'll have to temper it. And without getting into complicated temperatures and thermometers, this is probably the easiest way of doing it. First I'll break off 2/3 of the chocolate and break it into smaller squares and get them into a small stainless steel bowl. Next, I'll cut the remaining third into even smaller pieces and put those in a separate container. After you've done that, get a little water into a small saucepan and bring it to a boil. Place the larger bowl of chocolate on the pan and turn off the heat and melt the chocolate. Once it's completely melted, take it off the pan altogether. Now add the smaller bits of chocolate to the bowl and stir it until it's all melted. This is called seeding the chocolate. And what this does is ensures that the chocolate will set hard again once it cools. If you didn't do this process, the chocolate would just stay soft on the cookie. Right, it's now ready to use. Okay, each cookie should take about 1 teaspoon of melted chocolate. I'll start with one so you can see how it's done. First, I'll add a teaspoon of chocolate to the top of the cookie. And with clean hands, just spread it out with your finger until the top surface is covered with a thin coat of chocolate. I'll get it back onto the wire rack and that chocolate should set in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'll crack on with the rest of them. You could use a pastry brush to do this, but the heat of your hands keeps the chocolate melted. Right, that's them done. And once again, you can call it done, or knock it up another notch by putting a nice design on the top. For this, I'm using these little cappuccino coffee stencils. I'll leave a link on the website recipe page where I get them. They are very cheap and they're very handy in the kitchen for all sorts of applications. And this is only 2 out of a pack of 16 designs. And once again, I'm not being sponsored. And I'll be using dark cocoa powder to make the pattern. And to make the pattern, all I'm doing is sifting cocoa powder through this little tea strainer. It works great. And doesn't that look nice? And this one's my favourite, the little coffee cup with the heat waves coming out the top. Very cool design. And if you're clever enough, you can make your own stencils by cutting designs out of cardboard or paper. And now let's have a look on the inside. And as you can see, they have a nice soft texture, but still crispy around the edges. Best of both worlds. Right, now for the most important part of the whole process, what do they taste like? And I can assure you, they are fantastic. The oats give the cookie a fabulous texture, and the only way I can describe this is Moorish. Old-fashioned word, but it sums these cookies up perfectly. Definitely a thumbs up for these, my friends. And it looks like the teapot's agreeing with me. And once again, please help support the channel by joining my Patreon appeal for as little as $2 per month, or make a one-off donation via my PayPal page. It really will help keep the channel going. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in the kitchen and bye for now.